بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful.
والتين والزيتون
By the fig and the olive,
وطور سينين
and by Mount Sinai,
وهذا البلد الأمين
and by this secure city, Mecca.
لقد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن تقويم
We have certainly created man in the best of stature.
ثم رددناه أسفل سافلين
Then we return him to the lowest of the low,
إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات فلهم أجر غير ممنون
except for those who believe and do righteous deeds, for they will have a reward uninterrupted.
فما يكذبك بعد بالدين
So what yet causes you to deny the recompense?
أليس الله بأحكم الحاكمين
Is not Allah the most just of judges?
All right, let's dive in. We're going to be deconstructing Surah At-Tin. It's a really short chapter, but wow, does it pack a punch. It basically maps out the entire human condition, from our absolute highest potential to our lowest possible fall, and, crucially, the way back. So right at the heart of this whole thing is a question that really is for every single one of us. What does it actually mean to be created in the best of molds? And maybe even more importantly, how on earth can something so perfect, so full of potential, get lost? That's the real tension we're going to unpack here. You'll notice the chapter doesn't start with a big statement. Instead, it kicks off with a series of really powerful oaths. Now, back in the day, when you took an oath like this, it was a signal for everyone to lean in and listen close. It was a way of saying, hey, what I'm about to tell you is incredibly important. And here, 4 very specific symbols are used to set a really solemn stage. And check out how these symbols build on each other. It's like a progression. We start with the fig and the olive, representing both physical nourishment and spiritual light. Then we move up to the Mount of Sinai, which is, of course, where Moses received revelation. And finally, we land in this secure city, Mecca, a place of peace and safety. So you see what's happening? It's building a foundation, linking our basic needs to divine guidance and ultimately to a spiritual home. Okay, so with that powerful stage set, the text drops its first major bombshell, a truly stunning declaration about who we are at our very core. This is the absolute high point of the story. We have indeed created man in the best of molds. Just feel the confidence in that statement. It's not a suggestion, it's a fact. It's a powerful affirmation of our inherent worth, our built-in capacity for greatness. This is our origin story, and it's one of intentional, beautiful perfection. The key phrase here is ahsan taqweem, and this is so important. It's not just talking about our physical bodies. It points to a perfectly balanced nature covering our minds, our hearts, our spirit, the whole package. You can think of it like the original, perfect blueprint for the best possible version of ourselves. But just as we're sitting here thinking about this incredible peak of creation, the narrative takes a sharp, dramatic turn. And this is where the central conflict of the human story comes roaring in, the very real possibility of a massive fall from grace. And the contrast is just jarring. From the height of creation, the best of molds, the text says. Then do we abase him to be the lowest of the low? It's a plunge from the absolute pinnacle to the absolute bottom. This verse is basically showing us the profound spiritual risk that comes packaged with our free will. So this sets up the 2 extremes of our existence. On one side, you have ahsani taqwim, our perfect potential, and on the other, asfala safalin, the lowest of the low. And this isn't just about making a mistake or having a bad day. It describes a complete fall, a state of being spiritually bankrupt and turned completely away from our true purpose. So is that it? Is this fall just inevitable? Are we all doomed to this decline? Well, the text immediately says no. Absolutely not. There's an exception. There's an escape clause, and it lays out a super clear path to get back on track. And the way back is laid out with such incredible clarity. It's not some complicated list of rules. It boils down to two fundamental things. First, believe, to have that internal conviction, that faith. And second, do righteous deeds. You have to actually translate that belief into positive actions in the world. It's about faith and works together. And for anyone who manages to bring those two things together, belief and action, the promise is crystal clear, a reward unfailing. The original Arabic term used here is fascinating. It implies a reward that isn't just endless, but one that is never, ever cut short or diminished in any way. It's a permanent return to that original state of honor. The chapter then makes one final pivot. After laying out this whole journey of humanity, the potential to rise, the danger of falling, it concludes by shifting our focus to the one who oversees it all, the ultimate judge. And it asks this incredibly powerful question aimed right at the reader. It's basically saying, look, after this whole explanation, our potential, our risk, the path back, what possible argument could you have left to deny that there's a final day of judgment? The case has been made, you know? And it all leads to this final resounding question. Is not Allah the wisest of judges? It's more than just a yes or no question, isn't it? It's an invitation to really think about what perfect justice and ultimate wisdom even mean. It just hangs there, letting you reflect on it. So, if we look back at the journey we've just covered, we start with this incredible, immense potential, that best of molds. But we also face the very real risk of falling to the lowest of the low. The way back, the path to restoration, is always open through a combination of belief and good actions. And the entire time, this whole journey is overseen by the wisest of judges. And that kind of leaves us with one last thing to think about. If our starting point is perfect potential and our finish line is divine judgment, then really everything that matters, the entire meaning of our life, is defined by the choices we make on that journey in between. Thanks so much for joining me for this one.